Only if you're ready. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Divine and Egmar, a podcast that talks about how to navigate through the complexities of the workplace as a modern day professional while simultaneously having a side hustle. We appreciate all of our audience members for taking some time out of their day to tune into another episode and look forward to providing you all with some value through our show today. My name is Sarah and I will be the host for this podcast. This podcast will be available on all platforms where you can find podcasts, including Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and we're also on YouTube. So let's get started. Hey.
Hi.
So, my dear, you don't call me that. So where's Sese come from? You don't call me that. So welcome back to Divine and Egmar again. Welcome back to Divine and Egmar again. We're getting a lot of return guests. My mum came back. Now you're back. So yeah, it's a lot has changed. You came also in 2022 to Divine and Egmar.
Yeah.
But we have a mission and goal that we're gonna, we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the same guests that I rebooked again that couldn't turn up. But we carry on.
We just kept it moving.
We keep it moving. We don't let situations or things hold us back. No, we don't do that. So, like I said, welcome back to Divine and Egmar.
I'm happy to be back.
And you've had a lot of changes in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of changes in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So when you were last on the show, I remember you were doing a software development course, which I know a lot about. And you had a goal of finding a job in 2023.
Yeah.
So can you give the audience an update on that? What's happening now, Oluwaseye?
Yeah. So first of all, what do you want to know? What the audience want to know about me first.
But they want to know what you've been doing
happened
in the last 2 years.
Last 2 years, yeah. Okay. So now it's more clearly now. Yeah. So just in the last 2 years, I've been away. I've been working, a lot of networking, going to a lot of events, having more conversations with my wife.
Me?
Yeah. That's my wife. My wife is here.
Talk about me like another place.
And then also having more relationship with God more as well. I will say. But also another thing as well, what I've really done is that I've also always had a one-to-one, at least, even if it's like once a week or once a month with my mentors. So at least just to give them an update, even if it's like not really having a one-to-one with them face-to-face, but at least I always email them.
Have you finished the course now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you finished the course.
I'm done.
So did you go for, because the audience want to know, did you get that job? Did you level up? What's going on with the software engineering, software developing career path?
Yeah, so I think with that one, my dear, is that I think there's a lot of changes has been done in result of that software developer side.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've been working on my own big massive projects with my business, which I'll talk about that a bit later, later on today. But also I have been doing a lot of updates, websites. I've been doing a lot of apps, just working on my craft, basically.
Is that like doing freelance, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so it's just mostly more about freelancing, more networking with people. But it's not, but the freelancing though, because I do know freelancing can be very, very overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. So, but the freelancing for me is like a people that I already know, or people that I know of that wants me to build their project for them, basically. So I think those are the circle people that I have been helping them.
And you getting paid for that?
Build their website. Yeah. So I think the last time I did a project for someone, I got about £300.
Okay.
Just like a basic one.
Okay, what project was that?
So that one was for there was this person, there was someone that wanted, so basically, there's someone that I know of that wants me to build their project, and that one was for like an online service business. So help me.
Was that a website? Or?
Yeah, like an online website for, I think, I do believe it's for I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while.
Don't worry about it. It will come back to you.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So yeah, but basically, in other words, it was an online business, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you spoke about the importance of finding the company in the last episode that give provisions to people that are neurodiverse.
Yeah.
So because you've now, I guess you've changed the direction of looking for jobs to now working for yourself.
Yeah.
What kind of experiences you have in terms of finding the right employer to deal with your neurodiverse conditions?
That is a very good question, my love. That's a very good question. Yeah, so with me, that basically because I'm actually on the spectrum of a neurodiversity spectrum side. So I can't just work for any company that I see that you know what, I got my experience now with my mentor, which I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so I can't just work for anyone. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna get a job out of this after this finish this project. I want to actually get a job. No, I'm actually gonna work in this company that I want to. Oh, okay, work for, let's say, Lloyd's Bank, just for example now, or let's say just want the charity job. Like basically, I can't do that because I have to also think about my, the needs and what I'm capable of doing, basically. Because obviously, by me working in a corporate role, basically in a corporate companies, basically, it's gonna be high demand, and there's gonna be expectation, like for me to meet those expectations of demands there on their side to build a website or to build the app or to manage this or to manage or to manage manage my own colleagues. Basically, there's going to be high demand there, and if I don't really meet those demands of them, it's not going to work. I'll be still in trouble. So, so I think it's better for me to work for myself, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the entrepreneurial world tends to fit a lot of neurodiverse people.
Exactly.
Because they can, I guess, choose their hours, choose how they want to work.
Yeah.
Who they work for.
Exactly.
and the type of jobs they do as well. So I guess it sometimes works a bit better for someone who's entrepreneurial and neurodiverse.
Yeah.
However, I might also add
Every time
that some neurodiverse people prefer structure, and sometimes employment is better for them. But I guess that is for you to understand your mind and how you
That's
work.
what I'm saying. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we dropped the whole, idea of working for someone, and we've gone down the road of being entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a different thing, because I thought, you really wanted to work for like a big corp, because I remember the last time we talked, you were like, you want to work for a big organization like the likes of Google or Meta.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I kind of said to you, they may have those things in place, but when it comes to the reality of working for them, it might not be the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Because one thing I find, particularly when you have a neurodiverse condition, when you work for these, I guess, top 5 organizations, they're good. They're very good. They have like things like diversity and inclusion teams, and they'll have a lot of structure in terms of HR processes to ensure that people from diverse backgrounds are being like looked after and things like that. But at I guess at the ground level, so like the lower level, right on the ground level, some of the managers in those organizations don't know how to manage people that are neurodiverse.
Exactly.
So they may say, we're neurodiverse friendly, we take on neurodiverse people, we are a company that we don't care what background you come from, as long as you can do your job, and we'll make the adjustments in place. They'll say all these things on their website, and all the things they have to say because of the size they are. But when you go to like on a granular level, like some managers are like, I don't know how to manage this neurodiverse employee, and it brings a lot of issues. And then sometimes in some cases, and I'm not saying it's with any of those companies I've mentioned, I don't want to say that, but you might find that then that person almost gets managed out because the employer doesn't know how to deal with the neurodiverse condition. Which isn't fair, because if just slight adjustments are made, that person can actually thrive. But the problem is a lot of people are just looking at the disability rather than looking at the strengths that person has and what they bring to the team. So and I kind of said that we don't know, just because they are big, it doesn't necessarily mean they are equipped to deal with people with those type of conditions. But it's interesting now you've gone down the entrepreneurial route, and I'm really hoping that we stick to this route. So since you last visited as well, you said that I asked you about, have you learned any new methods or tools that have been particularly helpful in now going down this entrepreneurial journey? Because I know as a neurodivergent, you need certain tools or certain things that you could use to help you manage your workload. What tools have you found now? You want to elaborate?
Yeah, sure. So, so basically the tools that I've found even more is, people know about all these tools anyway, or know of them.
They might not.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But what's it called? Yeah, so one of them is, I've come across that I'm using more ChatGPT now.
Oh yeah,
basically
ChatGPT.
So, and then also I'm using more with Grammarly, so like spelling checks and stuff. And then Speechify as well.
Yeah, that one's good.
Very, very good. And then also, I've also used like voice notes as well on my phone, on my laptop as well. 'Cause I have a
Talk to text.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah. Talk to text.
and then also another one, which I always use the tools as well. Last one, but this is the what's it called again? This one.
You're gonna look it up.
This one.
Siri.
Siri, yeah. So I always use that practically every day.
Yeah.
I always use it every day.
I know.
Yeah. So, because sometimes I might not be able to spell some words. It might be difficult for me to pronounce. It might be longer for me to find it or type it in, or it might not make sense. All those things. So rather just say it out. So yeah, I use that. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, that's all. Oh, and then also another thing as well, which I always go back to if I'm really, really stuck. I always go back to my wife. Because I think my wife is more better at spelling more than I am. So
I can barely spell,
yeah, but at least you try. At least you actually find more better than me to go through. Because sometimes I don't really, me, you actually you sitting there next to me now. What I'll do, wife, baby, oh yeah, just help me spell this word for me now.
You know what? I might be a little bit better than my husband, but I'm an atrocious speller, and I do use assistive text. So
yeah,
I'm not any better, guys. I'm not any better. I really not. Okay,
nice.
So you mentioned the challenges of expressing many ideas, and I remember when we on the podcast, you kind of described it like it's like a wall of information like spreading through your head. It's like it's so much. Have you found a way to kind of manage that now? Because I know I don't have autism, but I have ADHD. And with the ADHD brain, you can have all these different things you need to do, but you can't executively function properly sometimes. To be ADHD is a beautiful thing, but it also can be a very frustrating thing at times because you're like, why isn't my brain working today? I've got too many ideas. What have you done to overcome that? Because I can tell you what I've done, but
What's the question again?
So how have you managed to overcome like all the ideas that you have in your head and it's just spinning around like crazy?
Meaning?
Like last time on the podcast, you said that sometimes you have so many ideas, it's just too much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I'll be very happy to share. So what I've done, actually I've done 3 things actually I've done. So 1, if something is really overwhelming for me to handle, or I've got too much information in my head, I don't know where to go, or I'm a bit lost, or I don't know how to do it, I always talk to my God. I always go to God. I always ask him questions. God, please help me with this. I have so much ideas, I don't know what to do. And then he'll show me. When I'm sleeping, in the room, I'm not going to say anything else apart from that one. But yeah, by the time I'm sleeping, basically, my wife here, basically, God just speaks to me. That's one. Secondly, is that, in the room as well, with my wife as well, I have a board. I have a whiteboard, very small.
Yeah.
Very cheap. Actually, my wife was the one that bought it for me anyway. To be quite honest with you. I think it was about 20 or 30 pounds, something like that, on eBay. I remember. So, but basically, that's what, I actually write all my ideas on that board there. Yeah. So when I now write it down, I now slash it down for those 3 things there. Well, sorry, 3 tasks, sorry.
So 3 things to do each day. Yeah.
And then the last 3 not least, I just go to my wife. I say, wife, look, I know what to do this thing. Oh. I need your help. Please, oh. Because sometimes it's good to have a partner. It's good to have a companion. It's good to have what's it called? A spouse. But moreover, those of you that are looking for, and I know this is not really topic. This is a whole new topic. Yeah, but
you can still talk about it if you want to.
That's fine. Thank you. So now those of you out there that are looking for partner, that are looking for the right spice, the right spouse, I think two things that I will say that to look for the right spouse is have a relationship with your God. Because when I met my wife at 2018, I actually went down to the road of, I wrote down every single thing what I asked my next wife to be down, basically. So I asked God, I want my next wife to be half Ghana and half Naija. It's not more than that I asked God for. But those two, just that one, that's not one, just one. Those are my top of my list that I wanted. And God, and now look at it now. That's one. Secondly, is that another thing that why I could actually recommend those of you that are looking for partner or spouse, even wife, even husband too, is I think find the right church for yourself. Because sometimes, I've come across that, and I told you a little bit background what happened to me years ago. The churches that I used to go to wasn't good at all. And my wife can vouch for me to right here. She's sitting right here now. So the church I used to go to wasn't good. It was only the church that my wife told me to come to. I felt a bit more welcome there. So that's one of the reasons why it's good to go to the right church for yourself. Yes, in the churches themselves are not really perfect themselves, which I agree. So majority of churches nowadays are just falling apart. I'm not going to go into that details anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of falling and distrust in the church at the moment. But what we have to understand about church is that it's run by people, and people are not perfect.
Exactly.
Only God is perfect.
Exactly.
So we have to understand that too. But there you go.
So so that's what. Yes, those are those are the only two that I will say. Those of you are looking for wife, especially wife and husband.
Okay. I do have a question for you.
Go on.
So your story is going to be quite inspirational. In fact, I always say this, that your episode, it's probably one of the most popular episodes that people tend to be gravitated towards. I don't know what it is because I don't know what it is because
every day.
I don't know if it's because it's a husband and wife couple or whatever it is.
Oh, I don't
know.
But
people just seem to love episodes with couples. I think people love love.
Yeah.
People love love. So, that's probably. But I would say you're an inspiration to other neurodiversity professionals.
I'm trying to.
And particularly someone who is young and maybe they've just been diagnosed, or they might not necessarily be young, but they've just been diagnosed with a neurodiverse condition and they want to try and navigate into the world of tech and manage their learning difficulty. What advice would you give them?
Good question. They should come to my business of autistic black coders. That's one. Secondly, which I'll talk about that later. Secondly, they should even come to Divine Enigma, which is my wife's business too.
This is the podcast Divine Enigma, but
basically,
listen to it.
Yeah. And then we put the notes on the show notes for you to listen to. And then thirdly, not this, which I'm going to mention the owner of this business later, is calling by females. That's a very, very good business. That's a very good community that is all based on black women that also get into the tech industry.
But what about black men?
Black men are fine. No offense. All black men are okay. Just the black women may have more. We talk about that later. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of unravel stories right there. But anyway, it's okay. But black men are fine.
But there might be black men who are autistic or black boys who are autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So, they might want to become software developers. Where did they go?
Well, they can come to Autistic Black Coders.
Okay. So tell us about Autistic Black Coders.
I'll tell you guys later.
No, tell us now. We want to know what is autistic. You keep talking about Autistic Black Coders and the audience want to know what it is because this is your... Okay, I'll tell you guys. This is a thing that my husband, Oluwaseye, has been working on probably for the last 6 months. He's managed to get an email list of quite a number of people who are really interested in what he's doing, but he just needs to get the product ready. So he literally has that community who want to learn, but learn from a neurodivergent perspective. So things like how does a neurodiverse mind work when it comes to tech, and it's the intersectionality of being black or autistic as well. Because we do know about neurodiverse people in tech. Like, for example, we know Steve Jobs was dyslexic, and we know like people in business like Richard Branson was dyslexic as well. But the difference between Steve Jobs and Richard Branson is they're both essentially middle-class white men.
Yeah.
So their lens of what it is to deal with a neurodiverse condition will not be the same lens that you would see from someone who is black and neurodiverse, let alone black and autistic, which comes with a different kind of challenge, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see it as a challenge and stuff, but let's be real, there are challenges that come with autism. And we need to make the tech that sits well with people who are autistic. Yeah. So talk about Autistic Black Coder. What will people who are autistic and black get from Autistic Black Coders?
I'm definitely going to say a little bit more details of what exactly those of you are going to be black or autistic and want to get into the tech industry. So I'll talk about that a little bit more details later. However, as my wife asked me this question, and she's really eager to ask me this question every time, I will just say briefly about it. So Autistic Black Coder means that it's just trying to get young students and kids to have a form of community of how to get into the tech industry or how to become a full stack developer or full stack engineering. Sorry. Yeah.
And I feel
and
like
also creating your own business too.
Yeah. And I feel like Autistic Black Coder can go further because obviously you wanted to get a job in tech, but now you went down the entrepreneurial route. And maybe some autistics might not want to do software development, but they might want to do other stuff in tech, like product management or project management and things. And that's still all part of the tech industry. Even the customer success managers, where you are dealing with software and you've got to make the customer happy with the software that you was, managing or selling to them. So tech is not just everyone coding. Not everyone wants to code. And that should be open for all. So I'm really excited about Autistic Black Coders. I feel like it's something needed.
I know.
And there's a lot of people in the tech space that are probably undiagnosed or possibly on the spectrum, but they don't know they have it.
Oh, and also another thing as well, to watch anyone that wants to come on board, just strictly black people, so male, female, is that you definitely get yourself a specialist, doctor, which I'll talk about that later, a bit more detail. Definitely get a mentor that is right for you. You definitely get a accountability buddy as well, which I will be putting that in place to make sure you get the right accountability buddy that is assigned to you. And also, another thing what you also get as well is that you also get some kind of experience inside a tech business organization. So that, for example, that let's say we could actually go to Meta or Facebook, or we could actually go to Mozo or Barclays Bank or something, and just shadow someone that is already there, even if just for like a week or maybe 2 weeks or so, just to shadow them with them. So basically shadow with them just to see if you fit yourself or see yourself coming to this type of organization, basically. Which I even forgot to mention that as well. But anyway,
okay. So beyond,
there's a lot more.
Oh, okay.
But later.
So beyond like software development, do you see yourself venturing into other areas of tech in future? And if you do, let me know.
I think the only thing I will put myself involved with is just tech. However, I am very keen and strong about education as well, because that aligns with what I'm doing anyway. So, funny enough, there's something really good that my wife told me, even yesterday, in fact, to be honest with you.
Oh, what did I say?
My wife told me yesterday was that, Shaya, there's no point in you doing being doctor or being engineer or being customer service assistant or being what's called accountant or being this or being that. What you can do, remember, basically, what you could do, is fit yourself in a position where aligns with your business. So autistic black coders, basically, is all.
Yeah, so I said to you that it's important in life that you do things that are aligned with your purpose and the goals you have in mind. Yeah. There's no point in going on to do stuff that doesn't align with the purpose that you have for yourself and the goals that you want to make. Yeah. So for example, like, you can't go on to do, I don't know, I'm just going to pick a random industry, hairdressing. I don't even know, like, no offense, nothing's to hairdressers, but I'm just saying, like, I want to be a hairdresser, but you've never shown any interest in hair. Yeah. You've never done anything to do with hair, and then you want to go into hairdressing randomly, and then you find you don't enjoy it. Is that the purpose? Is that the alignment that you want for yourself? It's very important to understand what you want for yourself, and if that aligns with your purpose. And I think we were also talking about the other thing about people talking about having to be a millionaire, you need 7 streams of income, and people think that to be a millionaire, like some people think in their heads that to get 7 streams of income, I have to be a hairdresser, a nail tech, then I have to go and work in the bakery. Then I'm going to do project management, and then that's how I'll get my 7 streams of income. And that's not how it works. You find something that you're very good at. So for example, you have a podcast. Okay, through that podcast you get affiliate links. You manage to get some SEO onto your website that drives traffic to your podcast, that brings you money. And then through the podcast, maybe you upload it on YouTube. YouTube then pays you. You become part of YouTube's affiliate program, and you start making money through YouTube. That's a an income stream. And then through that, you might make digital products, and those digital products, you'll make money through that.
Yep.
And then through that, because people see you, you might get called for speaking gigs,
Yeah.
and then you get paid for that. And then that's how you accumulate your 7 streams of income. But that's because you're doing something that aligns with your goals and purpose.
Yes.
So you'll focus your attention on getting those things.
Yes.
And that will make you have 7 streams of income.
Exactly.
But a lot of people think, oh, let me do random things and I'm going to get 7 streams of income. And it doesn't work like that. So when people say, oh, this is how you become a millionaire, it's not that way. You have to do different things. And again, through just knowledge of understanding how money works, you'll put money in stocks and shares and ISAs and in the S&P 500.
Yeah.
Put the money away and forget about it. You might put some money in crypto, but maybe not a lot of money because crypto is a bit volatile. But that's a way of generating income, and that's how you become a millionaire. Not doing random things that don't make any sense or align with your goal and purpose. And I feel like for me, I think a lot of the time people are always worried about the long run. So they're like, they want quick money, especially young people. These young people nowadays, they want the soft life today. They want everything right now. They want to be the trad wife or all these trends that happen right now. But everything you do, you have to be wise. You have to make increment changes each day. So even if it's like 1% of yourself you change each day, that is an incremental change. And that means that you're getting better each day in whatever you're doing. So sometimes you've got to ride the waves of feeling like, oh, things are hard, but you got to push through each day to make sure that you're doing like a little bit each day that will bring out those forms of 7 streams of income. But I think that's what I was trying to kind of come across in terms of what I was talking about, because I think people do have it a bit confused about how to make money in that way. And to keep money as well is important, because you can make money, but if you don't know how to keep it, then, it becomes an issue too.
Yeah. And then just to add to that, my dear, is that, and there's something else that my wife told me as well. I think this was last year. Basically, my wife told me, that, what was I going to say? Yeah. So basically, my wife told me last year, I can't remember what year, but anyway, last year anyway, basically. And she told me, that, starting a business, is not easy, and there was this, program that my wife was on I think probably last year or so.
Yeah.
And that program didn't really help her at all, to God's view. So I don't really know why that was, because she spent quite a lot of money on that program, and she expected to get a good return back in her investments. But it just seems that that's not good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there, I don't want to mention names, but there are a lot of people out there that claim to be, I guess, coaches or business gurus. They know what they're doing and they don't really know what they're doing, and they can be quite prominent, and they can seem genuine, and the information they're saying is true, essentially. But when it comes to actually supporting people that want to learn this information, that might not necessarily be so forthcoming or willing to help you with that. And that's what I find, like when people get to a certain stage in their career where they're making millions or they've got millions of followers, they forget that the people that are behind you, supporting you behind you, even in a small way, it's almost like they kind of dismiss you as a person. And I felt that's how I felt on that particular program. But I don't want to go into too much detail about it, because it was a very hard time for us last year anyway. I feel that we're going to be wrapping up. So I like to ask like 3 questions.
Go ahead.
Normally with most of my guests, I do ask this. So we're going to ask the 3 You love tapping yourself, Shaya. The three negative things now about your neurodiversity, now that you've gone through this, and the three positive, and we end with a positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So 3 negative. So 3 negative about my
Autism. Yeah.
autism, basically. I will say going to a dark place, which means going to in depression. So basically suffering from depression.
Okay. Number 1.
That's 1.
2.
Not having having a bad people around me, or being around bad people.
Yeah, being gullible to friendships as well.
Yeah.
And number 3.
And last one is
it's good that you're finding it hard, because like before it was so easy. So it means that you've gone to a different place. But if it's only 2 negatives, it's fine.
number 3 is not finding the And number 3, not finding the right
Not finding the right people to understand you.
Yeah.
Okay. And 3 positives.
Oh, being married.
Is that
My darling wife.
Is that autism? But okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. And being around, connecting back with my old friends.
Okay.
Which is very good. And we had an amazing wedding as well.
Yeah, we did.
And then also, lastly not least, just being around. Oh, and also more connecting and having more relationship with God.
You feel more connected to God because of your autism?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Okay. Well, I guess that's a wrap. I just want to let our audience members know about the 6-week coaching program that I'll be offering for people who are neurodivergent or who want to improve their career prospects in general, or for those who want to get into project management. You can also be non-neurodivergent as well. I mentioned this in the previous episodes, but I just want to make the time to offer it up to those who may be looking for help in those areas in their life, as it's a great way to learn a new skill to help you advance in your career. I'm also offering support to people who want to pass the Prince 2 practitioner exam, because I have taken and failed the test a few times and would like to help others, showing them how I passed. I'm also launching my membership, Neuroenigma, in which you will get a supportive community, career and business mentorship, monthly group coaching calls, networking opportunities, mental health wellbeing days, and unlimited body doubling sessions. And we also want to meet in the UK and very soon international meetups. I'm also working with the British Dyslexia Association and Lexic, one of the UK's biggest neurodiversity organisations, to ensure our members get full free neurodivergency assessments, accredited with an educational psychologist or doctor. If this sounds like something you are interested and like to learn more, please reach out and talk to me directly about the membership. Please follow me on all platforms where you listen to podcasts. Thank you for listening to Divine Enigma. And if you got to the end, this is a safe place for project managers and professionals, side hustlers and business owners to give you the tools and tips on how to navigate the complexity of being neurodiverse in the workplace. I'll see you soon.